Stranger Things just pulled off one of the smartest story-driven marketing campaigns that we've seen in a long time. Maybe ever. In this video, I want to break down the Stranger Things Season 5 marketing and storytelling so you can understand what the Duffer Brothers are actually doing, why it worked so well, and why it might be one of the strongest examples of story-driven marketing that we have ever seen. Let me explain. So as we all know, they dropped the series finale on New Year's Eve. And then they did nothing. They didn't explain the ending, they didn't clarify what it meant. Instead, they waited 12 days before releasing the documentary that explains the thinking behind it. And if you're someone who loves the Easter eggs, that number 12 might already feel intentional. So let's get a little bit deeper on what the finale really meant. At its core, Stranger Things has always been about storytelling. The entire show is built around Dungeons & Dragons, a game where the outcome is shaped by the players. Every character matters, every perspective affects the story. So ending the show with uncertainty was not a mistake. It matched the theme of the entire series. They turned the audience into the players. We don't actually know how the story ends because the story lives on through belief, interpretation, and imagination. It becomes a story that can keep evolving forever, a never-ending story.
The answer to a never-ending story.
Remember? By creating an unsettling ending and layering Easter eggs throughout the epilogue, they reinforced the question, is this real? Which is one of Vecna's core powers. They knew internet sleuths would notice. They knew theories would form. They knew conversation would explode. That was the plan. They even showed the possible interpretations of Elle's ending, making it clear that nothing was fully locked in. What you believe becomes part of the story. That open ending creates space for fanfiction, spin-offs, ongoing conversation, and cultural relevance that lasts far longer than a release week or release month. Now, when you pair that kind of story with marketing that exemplifies it, it becomes even more impressive. Stranger Things has always been strong at marketing, but Season 5 took it to another level. See, most marketing and storytelling is focused on control. Control the message, control the narrative, control how people interpret it. Stranger Things did the opposite. They let go. They trusted that the audience was smart enough to engage without being told what to think. And because of that, the internet did the marketing for them. Pair that with the unprecedented release schedule, the internet blows up. So they released the season in chunks or volumes throughout December, right? Leaving us on massive cliffhangers for weeks. The first cliffhanger was Will showing signs of powers. What did we all do immediately? We went online. We discussed what it meant, what we wanted to happen, what we believed would happen. They left us sitting with that uncertainty intentionally. And sending the cast out on the press tour throughout December in between releases, an absolutely brilliant plan to get people talking, theorizing, and picking apart the cast's ambiguous answers to talk show questions. And just when theories reached peak exhaustion, they dropped the next volume on Christmas, the exact moment when people have a week at home, scrolling, vegging, watching shows, and talking online. At that point, the internet was doing most of the marketing for the finale for them. This is a perfect example of community-driven marketing. And then, they still didn't give us a clean ending. They leaned into confusion and turned the internet upside down. You had people who loved the ending, people who hated it, people building theories, and millions of perspectives all colliding at once. That was not an accident. Instead of giving us a perfectly wrapped up ending, they encouraged something far more powerful: conversation. They trusted that internet detectives would do what they always do: dig deeper, compare frames, build theories, talk about it everywhere. So they left Easter eggs for us to find, a perfect marketing case study as demonstrated by Taylor Swift. Fans were the ones that created the viral conformity gate theory. It was never official. It was simply one of the many possible interpretations, but that is the point. Then, 12 days later, they released the documentary. And by that time, the audience is actively searching for answers, questioning their own beliefs, and emotionally invested in understanding the ending. Those emotions and theories are the foundation of good storytelling. And when great marketing supports a great story, you don't just get views, you get participation. And this is the part that creators and brands should really pay attention to. The goal is not to say more. The goal is not to explain everything. The goal is to invite people in. When you leave room for interpretation, conversation, and connection, people don't just consume your content, they contribute to it. And that is where real engagement actually comes from. So in the end, no matter what you believe happened, that's the point. We all became players in the final Dungeons and Dragons game. That is why the player's manual appears after the credits. It's a reminder that the story does not belong to the creators alone. It belongs to the players too, aka us. So now the real question is this: what do you believe? Let me know in the comments, and let me know what other storytelling or marketing moments from Stranger Things either support or challenge this idea. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Bridget O'Rourke, and I will see you again soon.